There's too many card games, and I'm gonna talk about some of them here right now. It's me, 2 Lanes, the card game Crypt Master, and I have a bunch of cards, and I've shot this intro a bunch of times, and I never know how to start these, but we're just gonna go into it. The first game I have today to talk about is Rift Runners, which is a VTuber Yu-Gi-Oh style game, and you're probably thinking, the 2 Lanes, what are you doing? Show me a VTuber game. I already backed Oshi Push, or I'm waiting for HoloLive to come to English, or I'm waiting for V card, but no. What if I told you that this one was actually pretty good? And we're gonna find out, because I'm gonna open some packs. Oh yeah, I forgot, I don't know how to open packs. Whoop, there we go. I will try to explain this game as we look through the cards. So, it's like a Yu-Gi-Oh game. This is a trap card. See, it says counter. So if a Dark Fighter is destroyed or returned to the hand by an effect, exile the card that initiated the effect. Cool. This is another trap. Let's try to get something that's not a trap. You know, this method of explaining the game doesn't work if I don't get a creature or monster first. This is an equip card. This is another trap. This is a Monarch card, which is like a leader that has an effect that you can use a certain number of times per game. It looks like this one you can use any number of times, but once per turn. And here we go. All right, this is a unit, a creature. Oh shoot, I forgot what they're called. This is what happens when you play too many games. Anyway, it's a level 2, so think of this as a 5-star monster in Yu-Gi-Oh! You need 1 tribute to play this. It's got attack, it's got defense, it's a fire mage, and it's got an effect, and it's got a unity effect, and it's also got some other numbers down here. The cool thing about this game is that, are there any other units in this pack? This is the worst pack to try to explain this game. Imagine this is a unit. When you tribute this, it doesn't actually go to the discard, it flips face down and becomes a material on the tributed card. So, tribute summons in this game turn into Xyz material, which if you don't play Yu-Gi-Oh! That sentence just sounded like utter nonsense, but it's pretty cool. Let's see what we got. So this Flamecaster Gween, yep, I think this, they're all VTubers, most of the creatures anyway. I think there's some level 0 ones that are just guys. I have my decks from when we were playing over here. We have magic cards in this game, or spell cards, whatever, the one-offs that you use on your turn. We have a rare, I think it's rare. Where do we find the rarity? I guess we don't.
It's the letter in the set symbol, you idiot.
It's a little bit of a miscut on that. Wow. Let's see. Feel the burn. Action, double the base attack of all 1-tier lower fighter lore fighters. That a lore fighter is when they don't have an effect, so it's a vanilla. Double the base attack of one of your tier 1 or lower lore fighters you control until the end of the turn. That fighter is the only fighter that can attack during this turn and is returned to your hand at the end of the turn. So you get a big attack bonus, but it's the only thing that can attack, and it goes back in your hand. It doesn't have an effect because it's a lore fighter. Then for our... Ooh, we have a foil Monarch card. Every time you pull a card from the deck or void, that's just when you search one, place a Rift token on this card. You can expend 3 of these Rift tokens and draw a card. This card can hold 3 Rift tokens at a maximum. So this, you get to choose 1 Monarch in this game, and it kind of determines what your board looks like. There's a front row and a back row, and you can play, you know, your fighters. There's the name. It was on the cards the whole time. You can play fighters to those. The only difference it really makes is if you have a fighter in the back row and there's someone in front of it, your opponent can't attack the back row one, but the back row one can't attack your opponent directly. Other than that, it's very similar to Yu-Gi-Oh! Let me see if the second pack can get me some better things to talk about. Guess we just have to go for this way. Open them. Open them. My wobbly old desk. All right. Frosty Nyx. This is level 1 ice primal. I almost said wood. Level 1s are like, I don't know, level 4 monsters. You don't have to tribute for them, and they have decent stats. Oh, I didn't talk about this. In the bottom left, I'll put a pin in that, and we'll get to it in a second. We have Graceful Heist. Another spell card. We have Goo Scout. All right, now this is a level 0. Level 0s in this game are special because they suck. No, I'm just kidding. Level 0s in this game are special because the extra deck in this game isn't your powerful boss monsters, it's your crappy vanilla level 0s. Even though this is not a vanilla, this has an effect. So, that you couldn't put this in your extra deck. But it's really cool mechanic because instead of having the boss monsters, you have crappy guys like this Flame Spectre. And when you draw every turn, you can also draw from your extra deck. So you don't have guaranteed access to your big bombs all the time, but you always have access to material that you can possibly turn into a tribute summon. Like Yu-Gi-Oh, there's a once per turn summon, but there is another way around that, which we can talk about now because this is another ice card that's level 1. Once per turn, you can take a fighter. Hold on, let me make the scene. Take a fighter in your hand and attach it like an equip card to something that's on the board, and you get that many stats. So this gives 5 attack or 5 defense. So with this having 16, 14, that's not bad. It's a nice chunk. And everything up to level 2 has those stats. This will give you 0 attack, but it'll give you 6 defense. And the levels themselves go up to level 4. Level 3s need 2 tributes, because the level 2s need 1. Level 3s need 2 tributes. Level 4s need 3 tributes. But there's another cool thing. If you have an equipped card, it's called a Unity token at this point. If you have this card and you wanted to tribute summon, this actually counts. So this is 2, so you could make a level 3, boom, with just those 2. Pretty neat. Pretty neato. Let's go back to this pack and see what we got. We have Arcane Chef Tatsu, another Monarch. If you quick deploy a tier 0 Fire Lore Fighter, pull 1 Fire Lore Fighter from the main deck once per turn. This effect can be used 3 times per round. So 3 times per game, once per turn, you can get a Fire Lore Fighter from your deck to your hand. It doesn't specify level, so if you have a really powerful vanilla, you can get this whenever you quick deploy one of your crappy guys that's in your extra deck. That's pretty cool. I don't think that one was in the starter deck. And then it gives you most of your field. I never saw out of the 4 or 5 games I played where the board got flooded, so I don't doubt that it could happen though. We have Undercity Empress, which is another level 2. Ooh, she doesn't give very good stats, but she has 20 attack. And this card can be rally deployed using a tier 0 Dark Lore Fighter in the Void as rally material. So you can make this for your 1 tribute, but it can be from the discard. That seems pretty good. Strike Commander Yoro. Interesting. I thought the Monarchs would be like a once per pack. Oops, I just showed off the rare. But it seems like they're just in there like every other normal card. I think this regular card is in the starter deck, but the Monarch is not. Let me look. Yep. Let me see if I can find the... Oh no, it's a different version. Same VTuber, different card. Yoro. Yeah, I'm not reading that. Oh, this is the ice pack, I guess, because we got a level 1. We got 2 level 1s and this level 3. So, this exact thing I was saying earlier, when you got this on the board, hold on, I gotta remake my scene. It's all going downhill from here. You have this on the board, and it's got the Unity token on it. Whoa, camera, don't unfocus on me now. You can convert both of these into tokens and slap that on the top. Now let's see, what's she do? Nothing. No, she does a lot of stuff. I thought that was a lore for a second. During either player's turn, you can expend 1 Ice or Idle Rally token from this card to target an opponent's fighter. That fighter cannot attack or activate its effects, and its attack and defense are reduced to 0 until after the turn's end phase. Soft once per turn. So, you have her. You wanna reduce something's attack and defense to 0 and it can't use its effect, you just go Nerum, send this to the discard pile, and you got the effect. I think that's a pretty interesting spin on Yu-Gi-Oh! I've seen a couple of Yu-Gi-Oh! Spin games where it feels like they don't really do a whole lot with the Yu-Gi-Oh! They're just like, here's Yu-Gi-Oh! Alright, I have a couple more packs of this game, just so we can see more of it. I think I've basically explained as good as I can without making a dedicated video to it, which I kind of want to make a gameplay video or something for it because I had a lot of fun playing it. I played with one of my friends, played it with a different one of my friends. We both had a blast. All 3 of us had a blast, just 2 at a time at different times.
What are you talking about, me? Shut up.
You know, I do not have this much problem opening packs when I'm not trying to make a video. It works like that, I guess. Whoa, we have the Rice Revenant. This has a token effect too. If this card is expended as a token by a tier 2 or 4 Firefighter's effect, it can be quick deployed instead of being sent to the void. That's pretty cool. It just can't be in the side deck, the extra deck, the second deck. We have Rice Master Tetsuri. What? Right after the Rice Revenant. Then we got Robo Shrimp. I like that guy. He's not a VTuber. That'd be funny if he was a VTuber. Any Robo Shrimp VTubers out there? Equipments. Now we're coming back to equipments. Equips can only be attached to lore fighters. I'm just gonna have this guy's MVP right here. So only vanillas can be equipped. It kind of makes equipments a little weird, but then they can be pretty good too. Let's see what this one does. This weapon can only be equipped to a dark lore fighters. Increase the equipped fighter's attack by 6. This card can be recycled 2 times. Now, I'm not entirely sure what that means.
It basically just means it isn't destroyed with the fighter that it's equipped to, and you can re-equip it that many number of times.
We have Scholar of the Cosmos. This is a level 1 lore fighter. You can give 6 defense though, that's pretty good. Oh, then we have him as a monarch. Frightful Crossroads. Frost Crest Shield. And ooh, Ice Goddess Wyneria, which is kind of unfortunate. This is the big, this is in the starter deck, but it's not a foil. At least I don't think it is. Nope, those cards don't look foil to me. I was about to say that's disappointing, but Mia is the foil of the starter deck, which the starter decks were pretty fun. Sometimes you play starter decks and they're not that great. But this one was good. You know, rarity upgrade in the starter deck. I think it's these WJCP packs. They're hard to open. That's the manufacturer that makes a lot of these games. Flame Brawler Tora. She's in the Flame starter deck. She got 18 attack for no tribute. Pretty good. That's like, this is basically La Jinn or 7-colored fish for all my Yugi boomers out there. Flame Spectre, there's the boy! Put him in your extra deck. Got Forest Guardian Chio. I'm not too thrilled on the theme of the game. VTubers aren't really my jam, but the game plays well, so that's cool. Oh, here's Strike Commander Yoro. That's cool, though. The other Yoro is a Frost Ice card, and this one's a Fire card. Oh, a thing I didn't mention. You can only equip things that share either the attribute or the type, so one got to match. Got to make deck building interesting somehow, otherwise people are just going to run the biggest number. Tiara of Winter, that's in the starter deck. We have another Field of Burn. I guess something's telling me I need to make Fire deck. Wait, hold on. We got another. I thought I picked up the wrong pack, but wow, we got double upgrade on this vanilla ice card. Wow, they really are giving me Frost and Flames. That's crazy. It's almost like those are the most plentiful cards in the set. Set 2 is going to introduce Bug though. I'm going to have to get me some Bug. By the way, set 2 for this game is available for pre-order. You can get set 1 booster boxes. They're like $60 for 20 pack boxes, which is pretty good, I think. I think indies are gonna have to make themselves appealing price-wise compared to the big games. And I think that's one way to do it. I'm not sure if he's making any money off selling them at that price though. That's kind of a bummer if he's not. But I would like to be positive. Insomniac. Insomnia, get it? Do you get it? Okay, this video is gonna take forever. Jelly Cluster. Kitsune Visage of Flames. This card's in the starter deck. It's a tier 0 with an effect, but it gives 7. That's a lot. And if this card is either face up or unified to a fighter, detach 1 token on your opponent's side of the field once per turn. This can just get rid of Xyz material. It's great. Ooh, we got the Visage of Ice. I wonder how collated these are, because they seem like these would be right next to each other. This is card 74. This is card 75. Uh-oh. Do they go in order? Is this one going to be 76? Nope. Candy Girl A's. Fighters controlled by either player with more than 34 total attack cannot declare an attack. This vanilla level 3 doesn't have 30 attack, so I guess it's got to be a level 4. Can we get a level 4 in this pack? I'd like to show one off. That's not from the starter deck pile. Voidwalker Faust. And if you notice, it's not just waifu VTubers. There's some guys in here too. Mr. Voidwalker Man with his shadow monster. Undercity Empress. And Kingpin Corey. Another ice level 3. Guess that's just our... Ooh! No, that's also a level 3. Darn, no level 4, but I'll take... Seems like 2 foils per pack. That's pretty generous. That's kind of like Rift, if you remember when I talked about that. I have a gameplay video for that one stuck in editing hell somewhere. I should finish it though, because those games were pretty fun. We played Sealed, and I'm not talking about Rift right now. So you better subscribe and hit the bell, so when I do come out with Rift, you can watch that one too. But yeah, this is Rift Runners. Does it have the name? It does, in the top. I probably dinged the heck out of these packs trying to open them on camera. It's a cool game, Yu-Gi-Oh! Cool take on Yu-Gi-Oh! But they actually like do something with it that kind of makes it play different. You always have access to things to do more plays. I like that. I like when I get to draw and play more cards. I'm just moving this around. We're gonna move on to the next game now. The next game is Booster Brat. The creator saw my Gen Con video and they're like, hey, that guy that's jabbering on and on about nothing and opening packs, I want him to do that about my game. So god dang it, here we got some Booster Brat. We're gonna blabber about nothing. Hopefully it's about the game. I did try to play all these games before I talked about them. Hold up, do we have the, is that the pack opening thingy? Let's see if it works. Let's annihilate the corner of these cards. What was I saying? Oh yeah, right, I was blabbering about nothing. Oh yeah, and I was saying I did play this game. All right, this is a setting. This is like a Yu-Gi-Oh! Field spell or a Pokemon Stadium. When somebody plays one, the other one goes. In this game, the resource system is that you get this number of resources every turn, and you get to spend them. Let's see if we can get a guy. Ooh, yes. Bugasi? Bugisuji. That's about as close as that's gonna get. This is a unit. It has power. I don't know why I was looking at the bottom. But there's something you might notice about this card. If you look at the effect text box, you get the four-legged thing waddles forward through the geometric butterflies. An excited Binky crouches through the window into the card. What is that? Why is the flavor text up here? What does the card actually do? Well, you gotta look down at the bottom of the card. While this unit is next to your team leader cannot be targeted by your rival's card effects. Very interesting thing to do. The creator said that this game is very story focused. The main text box of the card is the flavor text, but it might have these tags on the card that actually mean something on some of the effects. And the way this game works is that there's a board with, I think, 5 cards in it. 1, 2... Ooh, I'm looking at the foils. I'm ruining the pack. I'm trying to explain the game. I'm ruining the pack. That's how it goes on this place. All right, you have 5 cards. And one of them you have to play a team leader on the first turn of the game. And then every turn after that, you can play one guy. It's kind of a 1 per card type game where you can play 1 of every card type. Did we have an equip card in here anywhere? We have a token minion. We have an evolved agent. There's kind of a Pokemon evolution system in this game. That's another unit. That's a setting. This is an event. I think events are the spell type cards and you can play more than one of them a turn. And, oh, here we go. Captain's Blaster Pistol. This is an item and you can play 1 item per turn. There's a number of resources that you get every turn and you can play 1 of every card type. And then what you do is you send 1 of your units out into battle and your opponent does the same thing. The one that gets sent to, I think it's called the playground, not actually battle. When it gets sent to the playground, the one with the higher power wins, and you take every card in the playground. So there's this evolved guy back here, Wonder Kid. He evolves from something. Binky? Yeah, Binky, it says it right there. And you put it on top of Binky. So if this was Binky, and then you send this into battle, somehow your opponent beats you, they get these 2 cards. And you have to get to this number of cards captured and you win the game. So you steal your opponent's cards. That's kind of the deal with this one. And it's kind of playing guys that will change your number. There are also quick cards that you can play. I keep teasing the foil. I haven't taken a good look at it yet. Once per main phase, you can pay 5 to switch an item on a character on your team with an item in your hand. So you can do things like that. And the turn setup of the game is one player has like the initiative token kind of thing, and they do all of their main phase actions, spend as much money as they want, and they give it to the other player.
Then they spend all their money.
And then you decide what you're going to battle with, and any of the instant speed cards you can still use during the battle to mess it up. We'll talk about those if we get to one. Now let's see what this foil card was. We had the Battle Gussie. That's not what it is. The Battle Sugi. That's probably better. Chase card. This is also like a self-aware, I mean, it's called Booster Brat game, where it's also about cards in the game. Where did my shiny go? It's still in the bag. I don't know how I did that. Ooh, this I wonder if this is a super duper rare. I don't know what the rarities are.
This is a once per box alt art rarity.
This sure is a shiny. Full card shiny. This character interplays with 3 counters. If it loses a battle, remove a counter. Move all items equipped to it to the use pile and return it to the team zone. So this guy doesn't get sent to your opponent's collection when you beat him. He just loses all of his items, but your opponent doesn't get those either. And you can use them again next turn. That seems like a pretty good card. 7 is a lot of resources though. Their visitor suddenly glows with a hot red light. Its body elongates, wings and claws emerge. When the transformation is complete, it stands taller than both of the twins and cackles with cool energy. Crackles, not cackles. I mean, I guess you could cackle with cool energy. The wings unfold and power on. The twins are awestruck. Just upgraded. Something we do, the man says, clearly proud of himself. Come find me when you want to grow up a little, he says before blasting off. Oh my gosh. Oh, that went off the table. Well, that's not good. Sorry, Mr. Booster Brat, if you watch this. I just chucked the rare card off the table. We have a couple packs of this left, so we're just gonna blast on through. We got the Woonosaur. There's also a type advantage system in this game, and this is the type. But it's only like 100 power, so it's not Pokemon ×2 that they changed for Pokemon Pocket or anything. We got Zimino as an item. Ooh, ZFT Simeon. I think the art style in this game is pretty cool. We have number 131. Captain's Blaster Pistol again. Chase card again. Bradizard. I feel like I played this. Also, it's interesting on Tabletop Simulator, the cards just have their effect. They don't have this flavor text thing. So when I played it, this box was much smaller because it only had this text in it. Most of them don't even have the same effect though. What will make them noise? Quick play event. Yes. So this is one of the instants. Perfect. Your character with the lowest base power gains plus 300 power until the end of the round. If there's a tie, you choose the one that gets the power bonus. So you can use this during the playgrounding to attempt to boost yourself to winning. Ooh, we got Unwanted Armor. Equip this item to a character on your rival's team that doesn't have an item equipped to it already. And it gives minus 500, so you can really mess somebody up. If your opponent has the initiative token, they play out the biggest guy in the entire world and don't put an item on him, and you're like, hey, here, you can hold this minus 500, and they're like, oh. And they're probably not going to send that to battle, because if they send that to battle and you win, you just get this card and put it in your collection. Woo! It's like double winning. We got a Captain Zone. In this game, the part of the playmat is cards that you can pull. This is Team Zone 1. So they did a thing where you can get a 3x3 binder, and if you get all the cards, you make the playmat. And it seems to be floating around that there's some kind of customization that you can do for this, but you can't functionally have any different zones, I think, than other players. It's just a fun little gimmick collection thing where you can make the playmat out of cards. Captain Zone, that middle card of the 5. I'll just leave that there. Field Team 1, I guess this would go somewhere over here. Moving on with the packs. I said moving on with the packs. We'll get there. We'll get there. Oh, there it is. It's a boy. All right, we got the Theme Soldier. We got a space cadet. I almost thought that said cat. That would have looked really funny if I said, oh, look, a space cat. We got spam. Oh, no, I don't want that. We got Spark. Ooh. When Spark is your team leader, once during your turn, you can play a card for -2, which is his faction. So he would be, boom, in the captain spot, and you try not to lose him because you can play stuff at a discount. And then, hey, look, here's Spark's laser rifle. What? Are these cards numbered to where they would follow each other up? This is card 2. This is card 3. Yes. Is there card 4 afterward? No. Here's a Woonosaur. It looks like anything can be foiled because I already got this guy in one of the other packs. We got Rhinocchio. I wonder where the rarity is. I'm not sure. We got, ooh, Negative Spark. What's Negative Spark do? Spark looks over at his twin brother who stands frozen in shock. The hollow pit of guilt in his stomach deepens. Spark knows he's made a mistake, but will he admit it out loud? Oh, that's not the effect. What the heck? We gotta go down here. This agent cannot be your starting team leader. When you play this card, all players' use piles go into their archive, which is like banish. He banishes everything. Interesting. Ooh, we got Archeopops. Ooh, we got Rhinocchio before. What? This thing costs 10 and has 1,600. That's a very high number. That's why you come to this channel, for that good old commentary. When you play this character from your hand, search your rival's hand and send a card to your rival's archive. Seems like it could be good. I mean, that's just a huge number, and he's scary. I want a big scary card. All of these have like these black chits in it. I don't know if this is one of those games where you can only play that many copies per card. It seems to be like you can only play one of that. That is definitely not one of my favorite mechanics, but I could just be entirely wrong on what that is. Editing me, tell me what that is.
You are exactly right, non-editing me. The square in the corner is how many of that card you can play in a deck.
All right then. I think the rule book's by my bed for some bedtime reading. You know, you got to read those rule books so you know what's going on in the games, and then you play the games, and then you definitely know what's going on. So some games you read the rule book and you're like, I think I get it, but we'll get back to that thought. We got Spyglass. We got Rarity Badge. I'd like that. I'd like that. We got the Rhinocchio Doll. We got Shuffler. Does he shuffle things? Characters in your team zone next to Shuffler may have one additional item equipped to them. If Shuffler or those characters leave the team zone, you must move one of the items to the use pile. Ooh, having multiple items could be pretty big. You can make a big number with that. We got Skimpy. We got Zimino, but foil this time. Swing, swing. Pretty nice foil. Pretty nice, pretty nice. I like how the create is also foiled. Got Alien Mask. We got another Archaeopteryx. Got Upgrade Wizard. Does he roll a die? If even, add any card to your hand from your deck. If odd, no effect. Okay, I guess he could upgrade. Share Experience. That's not Spark, is it? I'm sure this would tell me something, but I'm not reading that. I don't have time. We got other games to talk about. We got one more pack of this game to open, so let's just do that. Oh, I got it down now. Look, that I didn't even struggle a little bit. Are you guys proud of me? Nobody's still watching the video. We still got like 5 more games to go. All right, Soundcore ID. Pugby? I don't know. Send this unit to the use pile to move target item in play to the use pile. Oh, so you can use your character play to kill an item. This seems pretty good. I think in the starter deck battle, it was pretty good. This one is also good. This is a quick play event, unless they change it from the tabletop simulator mod. End the battle phase. Move all characters in the playground back to their team zones and start the next round. You're gonna lose the battle. Boom, you got 5 resources left. Nah, just you don't even do the battle phase. All right, that's 28. Is this gonna be 29? No, 4, but it's still this metal hand thing. Parental Hand. Draw 2 cards. If your team leader is grateful or proud, draw 3 cards instead. So that's where the tags are coming in, where they do things. Oh, then we have another of the metal hand, Parental Love. All players put their hands in their decks, shuffle, cut the deck, and then draw back up to 7. We got some Professor Oak, some Professor's Research going on there. Ooh, then we got ZFT Simeon, which we've seen this guy before too, but now we've got him in foil. It is cool that the tags are foiled. I thought the other one was foiled maybe because it was just silver, but this one's yellow and it's still foiled. Virtual Washbot. Alien Mask. 9 Pocket Binder. I remember my opponent playing this when I played the game. He got $2 extra every turn. And this was just an item that he put on somebody. Ooh, plus 200 power. I'm not sure if it originally did that, but it might have. Slab. And a Shadow Token. And that is Booster Brat. I think there's some neat stuff here. If you are a collector and you like reading stories, you like that lore, this is a pretty good one. If you read the cards in the set order, then you'll have the story. We have Spark, who's number 2. So I don't know who's number 1. Maybe it's one of the other main character things in the starter deck. My creativity is my best characteristic. I have lots of unique ideas and feel like I'm the leader of my brothers and the main character of our story. I'm emotional but proud of it, and I'm not afraid of anything. I'm ready to prove myself. Thank you for filling out our questionnaire. That is a very nice self-description that we will likely never reference again. Welcome to the Pocketeer cult. Oh, that's pretty cool. And it was a fun game. I'm not sure how well it would hold up under competitive scrutiny, but I'm kind of a chronic dabbler, so I don't know what the top tier Booster Brat deck would look like. But with that being said, we're gonna move on to the next game. Alpha Clash Genesis returns. This is the 4th set of Alpha Clash. They sent me some packs and said, hey, will you do something with this? And I said, definitely. And then I waited so long, they emailed me back and they said, hey, are you gonna do something with this? And I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm trying to play all the games because I'm trying to do a whole bunch of games at once. And they're like, all right. We're gonna watch the video when it comes out. And I'm like, oh, if you want to do that, that's definitely something you can do. So we're gonna open some Alpha Clash. I just got to play this one again recently. I played it when it first came out. I think I had it in my Gen Con video because somebody gave me a pack of it. But now we have set 4, which came out last week. If I did what I was supposed to, these would be a sneak preview / pre-release opening, but I did not do such thing. This game is very similar to Dragon Ball Super. It's pretty familiar if you're into card games. It is a game where, hold on, we gotta find a creature. You have creatures, they cost mana. Every turn you can take any card from your hand and put it into a resource zone and it makes the color that it is of mana. You play guys, which in this game it's Clash cards. This is Genesis Changing Plans. There's multiple Genesis cards. This one is the Changing Plans one. And he has an attack and defense. And then you can turn that boy sideways to attack your opponent's contender or their leader card. And they have a life total. A contender gets a 0 HP. You lose when that happens. Pretty interesting that we got 3 blue cards so far. Let's see what these do. Rooftop Tower. Clash cards you play from anywhere other than your hand cost 1 blue less to play. Now, I already know how this goes. It's that Genesis, the contender, lets you play cards out of your resource zone. Let's see if this sadistic strategy feeds into it, because it's got Genesis on the card. You may only play this if your contender is blue. Put target attacking or obstructing Clash card into its owner's resource engaged, which is tapped. This is a Clash buff, which is sort of like the counters, I think, in Dragon Ball Super, but this game way limits that. You can only have 4 Clash buffs in your entire deck. It's like a battle trick if you have never played Dragon Ball Super. So you declare an attack, then both players have a chance to play their Clash buffs, but there's only 4 of them, so there's only so many times that they can pop up. Then we have Genesis, the man that we've already seen. He has Interception, which I'm not exactly sure what it means. In this game, every creature, every Clash card can block.
And if you have Intercept, you can block things with flying.
But no Summoning Sickness. So everything can block, no Summoning Sickness. So a little bit maybe different than your usual play a guy, he has to wait. No, you play a guy, he's swinging. He's swinging right then. Let me finish this card so we can move on to another one. Trigger defeat. Put this card into your resource zone engaged. Oh, so we're getting blue must be the rampy color. We have Balance of Power. Wow, are these all Genesis cards? I know the set is Genesis Returns, but is it all gonna be Genesis? Could you imagine? You just have like a 100 plus card set and it's all the same guy. Counter, this is a trap card. It's all, oh no, but it's not a trap card, it's a quick action. There are trap cards that you put face down like a Yu-Gi-Oh card. Oh my gosh, the next card's Genesis too. What are the chances of that? Counter attack, unattach all weapons attached to attack and clash card. Now we got Genesis Fabled or Fueled for Battle. Fabled for Battle would be cool too though. Hey, Rising Empire, next Genesis card, I got you. This is a 1 cost. One of those has to be blue. This icon's a little small for me, but you know, I guess you can see it. Once per turn during your primary phase, you can pay 2 blue. If you do engage a resource you don't control, then this card gets 1 defense until the start of your next turn. So if your opponent has some cards and you're worried about them throwing out an instant, like this Balance of Power quick action card that you can play from your hand, then you can rest their resources so they can't do that. Holy crap, we got a Nanite Infiltration, which is still a blue card. This has got to be some kind of record for pulling the same color card over and over. This is a weapon. You play weapons to the board, and then you have to attach them. They're very much like artifacts from Magic, where you play them and they're chilling, and then you attach them. If the thing they're attached to dies, then this just kind of goes back to floating around on the board until you attach it again. Attach clash card gets attack trigger. Each player diminishes 1 card. Ooh, I don't know what diminishes means.
It's mill.
Let's see if this next card is blue though. Wow. No. Ooh, this is a new thing to this set. These are dual colored clash cards. So this is both white and red. Normally in this style of game with any card as resource, these dual color resources come into play tapped and you can't use them until next turn. Hey look, we're going back to blue after this. But this game didn't do that. But it's got this bound keyword. You can only have 1 copy of this uniquely named card in your resource zone. So you can't just like pile up all of the dual resource cards because you can only have 1 of them. So it's variety in your resources, but like anti-variety in being able to play multiple of them. So that's kind of neat. We're going back to blue now. Get out of here, this isn't blue. Cybernetic Recall. This is another quick action. Counter, play, return all clash cards with an initial resource cost of 1 or less to their owner's hands. Ooh, okay. And then we have Garrison. If the portal is closed, contenders can't attack or be engaged. So there's one last thing. In set 2 of Alpha Clash, they introduced this thing called the portal, which is just like a card. And it starts off closed and cards interact with it. Or you can pay 2 resources and open it. Any player can do this. I don't know if it's once per turn. I guess if you wanted to just open and close it a bunch, be my guest, be their guest, be our guest. Ooh, what's this? This is Harvest Souls. This is a rare, kind of neat with the gold foil, and this is a cool foil. This character that looks like a Death Knight from World of Warcraft compared to the usual superhero theme they got going on with some of the other characters. Each player may banish any number of clash cards from their Oblivion, and then each player draws 1 card for each card they banish this way. All right, so banish, whatever that one effect I saw earlier was.
Diminish? Yeah, that was mill.
That's pretty wild though. Out of the whole pack, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 of the 10 cards are all blue, and then 2 red and 1 black. Let's see what kind of luck we can get on the rest of the pulls. Let's see if we can't get that legendary rare or a super shiny contender if those exist. Yeah. Well, Grasp of Power. We have Genesis, but now he's green. Genesis Steadfast Fighter. Mizuno Karate Dojo. Eclipse Form. Another Clash buff. Can only play if your contender is a Shadow Light, which I assume is a tag. Some of the cards have tags on the bottom. Like this Genesis we just got down here says Genesis Zenith Prime. So that's kind of his like archetype or subtype, whatever you want to call it. Target Clash card gets -3/-0, then you draw a card. You may flip your contender. Ooh, I kind of want to see what that means, if we can pull that card. We have Lin the Diminisher. On enter, Target player diminishes a card on defeat. Target player diminishes a card. Editing me, tell me what diminish means.
It's mill. Yes, it's mill. By now we know that it means to mill.
No, wait, I can't hear you. You don't exist yet.
Gosh dang it.
Just get out of here.
Oh, okay, fine. Okay.
All right. We have Under Pressure, another Clash buff. With Frank's Hot Dog Stand. Chicago Earth, this is a Clash ground, so this is like the Pokemon Stadium thing again. Only one can be on the board, so you kick your opponents off when you play this. Another blue card. Enter, put 1 streak counter on target Clash card you control. I want to put a target Frank counter. I almost said state counter. That's not right. Earth Clash cards with 2 or more streak counters gain Fortitude. Their attack and defense can't be reduced by your effects your opponent controls. It seems pretty good. Deafening Sound Wave. Oh, this is a trap. Counter attack. Prevent all Clash damage that would be dealt during this Clash. Then choose one. Target player discards 1 card or something else. So, trap cards, you pay when you flip them up. On your turn, you just put them face down, and then you flip them face up when the timing is right, so when your opponent attacks for this one, and then you do what it says, and then it goes away. Then we have Nova, which is just a token. We got a foily token. That's pretty cool art, though. And then we have for our final card, yeah! Sacrificial Strength. So I guess we don't get 2 foils a card. two foils a pack. This is a rare, though, so we do get a rare every pack. And another Genesis. Genesis is everywhere. You can't escape him. He is return. Go on to our next pack. Incoming Mortar! Deal 1 damage to already Clash cards. Kaboom! This is a basic action, so you just play it on your turn. Incoming Mortar again! It's a repeat strike! We have Genesis Steadfast Fighter. We have Eclipse Form. We have Ballistic Shield. Attach. Target Clash card gets Safeguard. There's no reminder text. I guess it's set 4, so that's not so bad, but it'd be nice.
Can't be targeted by opponent's effects.
We got Machina, the Savage Striker. This is our first contender. He starts with 25 health, and he has 2 abilities. One, he gets when he's at 25 health, which he starts with. The second one, he gets at 15 health, so when he's not feeling too great. He has 1 attack, 0 defense, which just means that everything that attacks him does full damage. If a contender has defense, it reduces the damage, which is kind of neat. I know there's a Pestilence that has defense. Let's see what this guy does. Once per turn, during your primary phase, you may engage this card and send a non-token, non-trap accessory you control to Oblivion. If you do, deal 2 damage to target contender or Clash card and then draw a card. All right, whew, a lot of words. So instead of attacking, you send any kind of card that's not a token or trap, or no, it's got to be an accessory, and then you deal damage and draw a card. Then, whenever an accessory you control is sent to the Oblivion from play, target Clash card you control gains +1/+1 until end of turn. So he must be accessory based, since both of his effects are based on that. Then after that, we have Magnate, the Patient Villain. He's Observant, which is a keyword that gives something summoning sickness, which I don't know if I've seen before. I'm sure it exists, but that's kind of funny. He's Observant. He's got to wait before he attacks. He got a big number, though. Trigger Enter. Your opponent draws 1 card. Then you may activate the portal. If the portal's closed, this guy gets +2/+2. That's 7. That's an even bigger number. We have Conquest, Readying Up. And we have Magnate, Observing. Wow, this one is also Observant. We have Flame Shield, which is the rare, so this was a common foily. We need to get at least 1 game with a really good pull. Maybe that one that I threw off the table for Booster Brat was a good pull.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
It's probably not a good pull anymore now that it's on the floor, but you know, what can you do except not throw cards on the floor? Dragonheart, Rooftop Tower, Sadistic Strategy, Kagen, Armored Assailant. The first contender weapon you play each turn costs green less to play. Ooh, we have a weapon-based guy. The starter decks for this set, there's a weapon-based... Well, I'm not sure he's weapon-based. He was actually token-based, but he had some weapons, and they were pretty cool to use. So I can see Kagen being neato to play. We got Genesis changing plans again. We got Kilimanjaro, the Versatile. And we get another one of those dual-colored cards. Weber, Examining the Scene. Does he do anything with accessories? You may search your deck for a weapon without Unrivaled and reveal it, shuffle it, and then put it on top of your deck. Unrivaled is kind of their legendary, but not really, because it's a deck building thing where you can only have 1 in the deck. We have a foil Dragonheart. Ooh. We have an IR. Is that infinite rare? Oh, shit. It's got some kind of signature on there. Whoa, what the heck? Well, I asked. I guess I received. Is this infinite rare? That's pretty cool. I didn't even notice. I was just looking, I was blabbing about accessory cards and weapons and tokens and didn't see the good to pull. That's pretty cool.
So it's called Iconic Rare, and it's once per box, so that's pretty good, but it's way less rare than I think. I think it's like a Grand Archive CSR or a WYRD signed card or something.
It's because I didn't open the pack on screen. The creator actually sent me the pack with the good card, and he says, make sure you don't open this on screen, and not because you just can't open packs and you take it off the screen. And I'm like, yeah, I'll get them good. Got Genesis changing plans. We got Kilimanjaro intervening, a different Kilimanjaro than before. We have Kilimanjaro Lava Wielder. We have Eclipse Form. Well, I don't know, what does that mean? Dragonheart, Apex, Top Speed. Sorry if my cards are a little leaning this way all the time. I'm trying to read them off to the side. We got War's Dominion. Oh, War is the starter deck that was token based. Does this do things with tokens? Trigger, enter. Each player creates 2 red 1/1 War Minion Clash tokens. Clash tokens get trigger defeat, deal 1 damage to your contender. Ooh, so you kill your opponent's tokens and make them take damage, and then you find a way to get rid of this? Clash Ground. So you play another Clash Ground? I don't know. Hold up. We have an E. I'm not sure what E is, but another Kogin card. This Dragonheart was also a Kogin card. He's got a lot of stuff. He's got flight. He looks at cards. Sheesh. Altering potential. There's this guy again. I didn't get this guy though. I'm gonna have to look up what this guy does. And that's Alpha Clash. If you want a good old creature battler with a little bit of something different going on, maybe you could look at Alpha Clash. Team Covenant has a thing actually right now where you can get a box of the first 3 sets of the game for 70 doll hairs. That's like $23 a box, man. You should go check it out. I don't know why I said it like that. It makes it sound sarcastic, but it's not. I actually bought a couple. I'm waiting for them to get to me. I think this game would be a cool game to play sealed because there's not really any deck building restrictions. It's just any card is resource and whatever you can pull for that sort of system. I'm going to retire YouTube for pulling the good card. Not really, because we still have more games to talk about. So, all right, next we have Monster Crown. This is a game I played recently. The Kickstarter came out a few months ago, but I just now got to it. This game is crazy. It's the game I was talking about earlier when I said hold that thought on reading the rules and then playing it and being like, holy crap, there's more to it. But it was really cool. At first I was like, what the heck? What the heck? And then I figured out it was pretty cool. And you're probably thinking, what the heck's going on? Well, I'm saying what the heck. So in this game, there's a very specific field setup. Let me get some other cards. You have this crown formation like this, and you have creatures. You can play 1 per turn into one of the slots. And the way you win is by removing all of the creatures from your opponent's slots. They start with 1, so you got to get rid of at least the 1. But every card has a crown rating. This one is 4. And the higher it is in the crown, the higher that it gives you for crown rating. So this one, top one is 5. These next 2 are 3, and these last 2 are 1. So if this was played here, or it ended up here somehow, this is a crown rating of 4, and it's in a crown rating 3 slot. So at the end of the turn, oh no, it would demote 1. And if it demotes off the side, wow, it's gone forever. So it's a really interesting kind of victory condition game, and you can force your opponent to demote by beating them in battle. We have some stats here. We have speed, which if you get attacked and you have higher speed, you can just tap your guy and say, I don't want to fight. Then he has attack and magic, and you choose one of these 2 stats to fight. Now, let's see, what else can we get from just this one card? Once per turn, when this card becomes exhausted, you may make it active. Oh, shoot. So this guy can just double attack or something. Double encounter. Because you can do more than just attack with creatures. This is another creature. Speaking of more things than you can do than attack, this has this DNA helix thing, and that means gene surge. So if I have this on the board here, and this on the board here, when this attacks, any adjacent cards can tap to gene surge And I think any card actually can Gene Surge, but this one gives a special ability. Normally when you Gene Surge, you can give it the stat of a card, the type of a card, or I think the environment, which is this thing right here of a card. But this one specifically gives Crown Break. It has +1 to motion, and if it was granted with Gene Surge, it gains +1 power for that combat. So you can do some interesting things with, oh no, we're not gonna start the interesting train again. I said it too much in my Gen Con video last year where everything was interesting, but I guess there are a lot of things that are interesting. So we have some creatures. I'll try to make the crown with cards from this game. We have another Gene Surge ability, and also this wild thing. So when you have the crown, there are also spots under it for world zones, and you can play cards to world zones too. So you can play cards face down in the crown zones or the world zones, and whenever your opponent attacks it, boom, it flips face up. And this wild effect is for creatures if they're in the world zone. So this one shuffles target NPC into its owner's deck. NPC is a card type. Hopefully we'll see one. So far, it's just been monsters that you can make a crown of. We got Raptor. We got Foo. We have, oh, here's one. The Grinning Shopkeeper, which is an NPC right there. But it's an adventure type card. There's a lot of types of adventures, but adventure cards go in the world zones, and once per turn you can tap them to use their encounter effects, but you can also tap a creature to use
any encounter effect. Yours, your opponent's, your mom's.
If your opponent has this card and you want to attack it or encounter it, you can exhaust your guy and then use that effect. It's kind of crazy when you can start using your opponent's cards to do things, but it's really neat. Gives me that like 90s card game vibe where they were just going crazy with mechanics. Things were either Magic clones or like nothing like Magic, and it was like 5D chess, and I think that's really cool. We have a Towering Townsfolk, which is another NPC card that can get shuffled away by that one guy we looked at earlier. We have Tour Guide of the Wild. This is a search card. Search your deck for a monster card whose habitat matches a location card in target world slot. Reveal it, add it to your hand, and shuffle your deck afterwards. Hyena, which is a CR1, so this is a basic, and it becomes active at the end of your turn. So maybe if you use him to encounter one of your items, then at the end of your turn, you can untap him, and maybe he can outspeed something that would otherwise be able to take him out. We have Mirlin. Let's see, do we have foil? We have Shock Shield Orb, which is a combat card, which is like your instants, your battle tricks. Your monster gains +2 power if it was encountered, and the type advantage against brute monsters until end of turn. Yes, there are also types in this game. Oh, there's 2 foils in a pack. Aiding the Irresponsible. That's a lot of words on that card, and it has to do with some guys. We'll get back to that in a second. Monsters have types, and they get double ×2 stats when, not double ×2, that'd be ×4, just double stats when they fight the thing that they're strong against. But on the card, it shows what they're strong against. So this green Unstable type is strong against this yellow Relentless type. I almost said pointless. This yellow Pointless type. Rip card in half. I wouldn't do that. Not right now, anyway. Shock Shield Orb, Aiding the Irresponsible. This is a quest, so this gets like quest counters. If a monster would encounter this card, you may choose a crown slot monster you control to be the new target. So you can redirect this attack away from it to something else. If it has 1 quest marker on it, I think quests implicitly have an ability where they can tap themselves to gain a counter and then do something based on how many counters they have. So the first time you use this, you can search your deck for a Mirlin, reveal it, and add it to your hand. Then if you have 2, you can search your deck for an Alley-Eel. Reveal it and put it in your hand. And then 3 quest thingies. Destroy this card and play a Gridag from your hand or deck. So that's what that does. That's cool. That we got, I think we got most of the card types there. There might be one, oh, we haven't got any of the location cards. We only have 2 packs of this. The creator did not send me these. I had them. They're from the starter decks. We have Tanuruk. He's a boss. You can tell by the skull in the corner. if he's not in exactly something that matches this, which CR4, I'm not sure how it would exactly match this. Maybe I don't have the rules right. But if you don't match this, I think he goes bye-bye way faster. Editing me, you take care of it.
Yep, you're right, non-editing me. If you don't match that crown rating exactly, this monster will demote at the end of the turn because it's a boss.
All right, thanks. You can disappear again now.
Bye-bye.
Next card, we have Maiden. CR6. Ooh, how do you play that? During combat, you may treat this card's speed as higher than its opponent's if this ability was gained during Gene Surge and this card becomes active. Ooh. When a monster is played in this monster's territory, move this card to another world slot and flip it face down. Oh, there's another thing with the demotion system where, you know, this guy, if he's in this zone at the end of the turn, if he's not in something that at least matches 4, he gets moved down. But if I had a card face down right here, he can't move past a face down card. Face down cards can't be moved. So you can kind of like block him in and he can't die until your opponent encounters this card and has to deal with whatever consequences come of that. All right, so we had the Maiden. We have Ramanoct. I appreciate this game for it kind of looking like a Pokemon. Monster Crown is a video game that's kind of a creature collector game, but the creator of this game very specifically made it to not be a creature battler, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh! Magic ripoff kind of game. It's its own unique thing. I'm just kind of going through cards as I'm talking about it. A lot of these are cards that are in the starter deck. They must be pretty decent, I think. Atomic Clock, Service Stork Lift. We have Shoryu, and then Death. We have the rarest card in the set right behind it. I can feel it. I'm gonna get the Death. Wah! No, but I got a Frigidile. I don't know where to find the rarity. It's in the bottom right. There's a crown, so I assume that's pretty good. I got 2 crowns in the previous pack. There was an error with the production of this game, and the rarities got randomized to be completely random, but I think you end up getting more hits than you normally would out of a box. So that's kind of cool. It's kind of lame that it got messed up like that for the creators, though. I think they talked about how they panicked a little bit over that when they discovered it, but at that point, you just kind of got to roll with it when the cards have already been printed and packed and everything. You should check it out. I think the boxes for this game are also fairly cheap. I think they're $50, or if you buy more of them, they go down in price. So I have all the games linked in the description. That's Monster Crown. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool indeed. It takes a little bit to wrap your brain around the first time you play it, though. We're moving on to the next one. FLAWED. Remember when I talked about this? No? Maybe? I did a video where I talked about 3 card games, and for some reason 3 card games did a lot less good than when I talked about 7 card games. So next time I guess I'll just have to do 7 again. FLAWED is very similar to the now released Star Wars Unlimited, where it's a back and forth, any card is resource system, but this one keeps the colored manas. But the interesting thing about this game was that every card was 2 components. There's these, which are the cardboard cards, but then there was also a plastic overlay where you put that in the sleeve together and it gave it additional abilities, which I thought was really cool.
The plastic cards weren't in the packs either. You just got this big brick that had them all in there.
But I just have a couple packs here for the game, and we're just gonna look through them. We have Burst of Speed, which is an event. Target character, a constant, I think that's what it is. Target unit gains this card's speed, but this card has 0 base speed, so the plastic card you're gonna have to put over it is gonna have to give it some speed. We got Temple Dedication, Temple Dedicant. That's what it says. Swift Strike 3. Swift Strike increases damage by 3 while in combat with a unit with less speed. Ooh, that sounds like something Wind would do. Expert Combatant. That's a pretty cool art right there. Accuracy. Attackers with accuracy may attack recovered units. Yes, this game has the Duel Masters style. You can only attack rested units, which I think Star Wars does not have. We have Careful Sneak. It can only be defended by a defender with equal or greater stealth value. We have Cleanse. Destroy target constant continuous event. Light Lance. I remember this from the starter decks. It's a item. Linked unit gains accuracy. If a linked unit's knight, it gains +1 speed. I might be mixing my games up again. I was about to say it gains the stats on the card, but I don't think that's how it is. First Strike, Alleyway Intimidator, Siege Trebuchet. Oh, that's cool with the plans of it. At the end of the turn, deal damage equal to this card's power to target constant shrine. Shrines are the bases in Star Wars, which I guess it's not fair to say that this is that from Star Wars, because this game came out before Star Wars. I'm not sure if Star Wars Destiny had a base type card though. Then we have the Keep card, which was this game's interesting way to do a mulligan. In this game, when you get your opening hand, you also take the Keep card and you put it somewhere in your hand, and then you put it all face down. And then you both flip cards until you reach the Keep card somewhere in there. And then the person with the most, I think, speed gets to go first, and then these go shuffle back in your deck, or maybe they go on the bottom, and then you redraw that number. So that's an interesting thing about that game. I don't have the plastic cards on me right now, but I'm sure I could overlay video or something of me going through them for when I went through them earlier. I just kind of wanted to look at the cards. They're currently spoiling set 2, and I think tonight, which is Wednesday, they do their like meetup, tabletop webcam, something. Something's pinging me on their Discord. So these guys do have a, I think it's a stream actually, where they play, but it seems like the creators have a little active scene for it. So if you wanted to go play it, you probably could. Now that I think about it, I'm not sure how tabletop works with this game with the 2 cards. Let's just start going through these. We got Refugee, we got Expert Combatant again. We got Royal Custodian. He doesn't look like a custodian. Maybe that word means something else. Covert Operation. I like that art. I like the comic booky style on this game. My own game, we're trying to go for a comic book style. And I know this artist, Ray of Sand, he's done art for a lot of games, including the Mitos y Leyendas. Fire Palm Strike, Drown, and that's what it was. Hurricane. Deal damage equal to this card's power to all constant units. Which I don't remember what it is. Airbound power, +1 power. We got Watchtower. We have another Keep card. I guess there's just one in every pack, and it's kind of this comic book frame thing. All right, that is FLAWED. Moving on. Keyforge. Any of you ever play Keyforge? Keyforge keeps doing Kickstarters or GameFounds. They're using GameFound for their crowdfunding. Oops, don't show that. My custom deck from their last Kickstarter for Amber Skies, I think. I have 2 lanes, the Harva Munchti. Oh. Keyforge keeps coming out with new stuff, and I feel like I never hear anybody talk about it. I wonder if it's just because it's just a little niche community keeping it alive, or what. I've backed every Kickstarter so far, so I think this is my 3rd custom deck. The others are sitting up on my shelf. Maybe I'll put a video clip of them. Wow, we got 3. I wonder if this is any good card. Skippy the Glorious. In Keyforge, it's pretty interesting. You have a deck and you can't change it. That's like the main format. You just get the deck and you play it. It was made by Richard Garfield. I almost said Andrew Garfield. No, Spider-Man didn't make it. Mr. Dr. Garfield made this to replicate the old Magic experience of not having to play against meta stuff all the time, or not optimized. There we go, not meta, but optimized, where people just had the best cards and they could play them. And this was more of that, you know, draft sealed kind of thing. So you know what people did for this game? They just bought a million decks until they had the best cards. So it's a cool concept, ruined by human
persistence to get the best thing.
Ooh, Red Amber Drake. I've just been kind of going through it. I haven't really played a lot of Keyforge, so I'm just kind of looking at the pretty pictures. I get at least one of those, right? You see the pack opening videos, are like, hey guys, I don't know anything about this game, but we're gonna go through it and look at what we got. Oh, look at that, it's a big guy with the hat. And that's what this one's gonna be for me. House Gorman, guys, in here somewhere. A couple of those. Colonel Slime. All hands on deck. Oh, another. We have a lot of copies of cards in this deck. Sheesh. Energy Vampirism. Jahini. Tomb of Agony. Oh, we got into the discards. Pinterest box. Serene. Also, I wanted to bring up that this game keeps doing crowdfunding because they're starting one tomorrow, which might be today by the time this gets out. It might even be yesterday. I don't know. We're recording and this is an hour and 20 minutes. I don't know what I'm going to do with all this. Soulkeeper, Poltergeist, Cauterize Vitality, and Talon of Indivius. Those are some pretty cool cards. I'll definitely have to throw down some Keyforge. I just need to have the time for it among all the other games. And I needed to get this one in here so I could get to 7 games, which is the number that I did the last time I did opening a bunch of games, I think. And now with that one gone, Keyforge, we have 1 game left. And it's WyrdWarp. What is WyrdWarp? WyrdWarp is an upcoming game that asked me to make a how to play. So they sent me this box so I had cards so I could make the how to play. So that means I'm gonna do another IRL how to play, which sometimes makes me a little sad because there's no drawing stuff on the cards. I think they'd be very unhappy if I did that. We have some paper. I like that. It's a good start. It's a good start with paper. And the creators told me when they sent this that there was some kind of gift, some kind of funny in here. Oh, I think I see it. A gentlemanly tribute for Card Game Crypt. What could be in here? Is it a dead game? I like dead games. It's a paper. Ooh, what is this? It is the Rage Crawler from this game? Oh, no. Certificate of Authenticity. Oh, it is a one-of-a-kind WyrdWarp remixed print card. By owning this unique single print work of art, you are now officially certified as the cosmic cryptozoologist and entitled to all of the bragging rights and theoretical privileges afforded to such a prestigious person. That's me. Your early support means infinite worlds to us and help ensure that we can keep our crowdfunding goals low and our future expectations sky high. Thank you so much. So... I didn't even notice there's a Rage Crawler on the fedora. How did I not see that? What, is this another one? No, this, maybe. This is the Sin, oh, some promos? Sin Japan. Yes, that's pretty cool. Alrighty. In WyrdWarp, you have a constructed full deck of a type. This is the monster deck. In WyrdWarp, the goal is to have the most power at the end of a round. And it's best of 3 rounds. You basically get 1 hand, you draw your opening hand, you go back and forth playing cards and attacking, and then whoever folds or runs out of cards in their hand first ends the round, and whoever has the most power wins, and you gotta do that twice. So for this, we have subtypes. He's angry and swift. These are like the keywords of the game. So just on the back, nice. They have the keywords on the back so I don't have to go flipping through to find where it is. Angry 2 would deal +2 damage when it's not at full health. So this Rage Crawler is gonna get really angry when he's not at full health, which is up here. Damage is persistent in this game, so you're gonna have to find a way to track that. And Swift 1, which means he may make number move actions during its turn free. You can move cards around. There's a front row, a back row, and you gotta work within that constraint. For example, this Rage Crawler, his first attack, Frenzy Bite is melee, so it could probably only hit in the front row. Editing me, is that correct?
You know it.
If it's not, I'll just have to cut that whole part out. Hopefully it is.
It is.
Backstab. While on the front line, he may target backline. Ah, yes. I should have just read the next line. That explains it. Reading the card explains the effects on the card and some other stuff. He's also got another keyword, Hunter. He ignores stealth and evade, which I think are other subtypes. And then he's got leaping bite, which does 1 damage, and it's got reach, which ignores burrow and flight. So this guy can pretty much hit whatever you want him to. Zin, let's see. Agony Knight. I remember this guy being pretty good. He's got flight. I think that means he can't be attacked by melee attacks, except for other things that have flight. Makes sense? Got Shard Stab. Melee, 1 damage. Pierce, he ignores armor, which he has armor. I think that just reduces damage by that much. And then he's got a feature, Seppuku 2. You may choose to take 2 damage to deal +2 damage. So you could turn this guy into a 3 damage attacker, which is pretty good, I think. I remember it being pretty good. Karmic Spore. This guy's got guard. I think that means he can intercept any targeted attacks on targets in the same region. So if he's in the front row, he can block anything in the front row as a free reactive action. He can do 1 damage. He can poison whatever he attacks. And then he's got a feature, Defense Mechanism. Whenever this cryptid takes damage from an attack, it deals equivalent damage to the monster. Ha ha ha. A blocker that deals damage back. Head Harvester is the next one. As you can see, the art style is very unique. I think the gameplay is pretty unique, actually, too. We're just going to start going through some of these. We got the Krona Crab. I remember this guy, too. He can deal 2 damage and then grappled. Whatever he attacked takes +1 damage from all sources and can't make any move actions until your next turn. Woo! And he's got another effect, which takes a charge token. I think you can tap guys and then they just get a charge token.
Essentially, yeah, every cryptid gets 1 action it can do every turn, and it can attack or use its ability or gain a charge token or something like that, so...
But you can search and play a wonder card from any purgatory, which I believe is the discard pile. Agonizing Deathworm. Like I said, I'm going to do a how to play, so all these questions will be answered because I will have downloaded the rulebook into my subconscious. Skull Merchant. Kind of looks like a tech priest from Warhammer, minus the technology bit. Ooh, True Vampire. This guy was pretty good. Life Drain. Melee attack, 2 damage, backstab. While in the front line, it can attack the back line. And it drains. He heals himself equal to the damage taken. And he can also pull cryptids forward or backward, so he can rearrange the rows. He has low health, though, comparatively. He's got flight and stealth, which stealth means he can't be targeted by single target attacks and abilities. He has low health, but good luck hitting him. You're going to have to do AoE somewhere. We got that Shog Sealy. Kind of crazy looking. We have the Eldritch Priest. He's immortal. That means when he dies, he remains on the battlefield after a battle ends, so that's after the round. If destroyed, place in Owner's Void, return to the battlefield at the beginning of next round. So he'll come back from the banished zone, I believe.
Yes.
And he's got a 3 charge, so you have to spend a long time doing nothing, but he can search and play a tactical card from your deck, which is, I think, the spell card. Let's see. After that, we have Tactical, yes. Duration, reactive. Discard any number of cards and then add equivalent cards from any purgatories to your hand. So yes, the void for this must be the banished zone, and then he comes back. We have Kamikaze Burst. Sacrifice a cryptid you control. Then deal damage equal to 1 plus the sacrificed cryptid's remaining health to a target on the battlefield. Deal half damage to all other monsters in the same region. Kaboom! Raise Minion. Search and play a cryptid from any purgatory. So this is a little bit of a recursion deck here. Feeding Frenzy. Duration 1 battle. Add a power chip to all cryptids you control. Whenever a cryptid you control enters the battlefield, add a power chip to it, which I think is just it dealing +1 damage. Seed of Knowledge. You roll a dice and do many things. 11 to 12, it gains Immortal. That's pretty wild. Drill Gauntlet. There are also equip cards in this game. Equip cards go on the cryptids and they give them bonuses. Like this gives him Burrow because it's a Drill Gauntlet. Crown of Suffering. You give it Seppuku 2. Whenever it deals damage, it can take 2 damage to deal +2 damage. Eldritch Star. Gives this a -3 power, so you can reduce your opponent's power. May be equipped on a target that already has equipment. Oh yeah, this definitely has to go on your opponent's stuff. Other relics equipped to the target are destroyed. While in the same region as the Eldritch Star, all other targets are hexed. Cannot be equipped, and already equipped relics cease to function. Yep, gotta put that and it turns them all off. Monolith of Pain. This is a wonder, so this is like a creature, but it can't attack. It has an ongoing effect, though. All other targets in the same region deal +2 damage, but are dealt +1 damage from all sources. I think I figured out a way to do like a gazillion billion damage with this somehow. I'm not quite sure how. Oh no, maybe it was this. Tree of Death. Okay, this was it. Yep. Tree of Death. It has a ranged attack. 1 damage, nuke. Targets all regions on all sides of the battlefield. Pierce ignores armor. Hunter ignores stealth and evade. Extra effect. All players mill a number of cards from the top of their deck to the purgatory equal to the number of cryptids they control that are dealt damage by this attack. So this does 1 damage and hits everything. But now it does 3 damage. Now it does 5 damage. Whew. That's a lot of damage. Also, I said that wonders can't attack. I guess they can attack. I'm not sure what exactly the difference is between wonders and cryptids besides the obvious difference in stats. This doesn't give you very much power, but it's got a big booty at 10 health. And that is WyrdWarp. There's 4 different decks in this base set. There's this monster one that I just went through. I think this might be my other favorite one. We'll thumb through it real quick. I think we're almost closer to hitting 2 hours on the recording now. We got Fungal Frogs. We got Slime Brawler. This guy made me mad because he replicates himself, and having extra creatures is crazy. We have Mycelium Sage. We have Thurn Dryad. We have the Kappa Elephant Stripes. Okay, I guess that's sort of what it says. I thought I was going crazy. We have the Cycloptic Gracilius. We have the Medusa Griff. I don't even know if that's a B or what. The Hulking Saundersill. Oh, that's cool that it's holding the stats kind of things. Spectral Bigfoot. Tiny Spores. Fertile Cultivation. Volcanic Absum. Forest Ambush. Infectious Algae Bloom. Blech. Staff of the Seasons. Chlorophyll Blade. Addictive Sap. Ancient. What is this art? That's crazy. This is a very weird game. Maybe why it's part of the title. That's gonna be that. I think that's all the games I have for today. Whoo-wee! Thanks for watching. If you're still watching this somehow, if there are games that I haven't covered that you think I should cover, tell me those games. If you want to see any of these games played, which games would it be? That's gonna be it for me. I'm Two Lanes, the card game crypt guy, and I'm out.